Welcome to the news at 1 on NT Abuja Channel 5. I am Mariam George Jitobo. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has inaugurated people-oriented projects and flagged-off empowerment program in Abaji Area Council of the territory. FCT Minister of State Ramat Tejani Aliu says the All Progressives Congress governance mandate requires the FCT administration to be in a hurry to add value to the lives of the residents of the territory, especially those in rural communities. Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
This complex is being commissioned today by myself, the Honorable Minister of State, FCT, representing the chairman of Abaji Area Council, and handing over to the representative of the Police Commissioner of Abuja, FCT, to the glory of God and to the use of man.
Commending the chairman of Abaji Area Council for empowering numerous citizens through the provision and distribution of motorcycles to Okada members, provision of speedboats to Kureje and Alu communities, purchase of irrigation pumping machines to farmers and distribution of grinding machines to rural women, among other empowerment schemes. FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliu assured that the administration will leave no stone unturned towards ensuring that the less privileged are empowered.
I put before you all these empowerment programs. Ladies and gentlemen, this will go in no small measure to energize the youth, to empower the women. Even the motorcycles that are being given today, we ease commuting from one locality to the other. For those living in town, they shall live it as means of livelihood. You will be able to transport from one place to the other.
Chairman Abaji Area Council Abdurrahman Ajia acknowledged the pragmatic role played by the FCT Minister of State during zero allocation to area councils.
He has been there for us anytime we cry. If not for our sake and concern for the people of FCT, what we have achieved today wouldn't have been possible.
Projects inaugurated include the Abaji Police Area Command Office, 0.5 kilometer Market Junction Road, 0.45 road along Baba May Lema, ongoing 1.2 kilometer road pipeline, among others. Ifeanyi Ezumba, NT News.
Deaf women and girls in Nigeria are facing a lot of daunting challenges owing to their inability to communicate meaningfully. It is as a result of this and other issues of sexual-based violence against them that a stakeholders meeting was organized to address their plight. Odiri Arutere reports that the meeting was put together by Deaf Women Aloud Initiative in Abuja.
The meeting, which focuses on the implementation of existing laws, policies, and programs aimed at preventing gender-based violence, sexual reproductive health service for deaf women and girls. This is in line with the United Nations Convention of Rights of Persons with Disabilities as enshrined in Article 6 and National Disability Act and other relevant policies.
I'm sure with this project they'll be able to come out to have their own voice and talk about their rights to access to justice when it comes to gender-based violence.
Launching the project, advancing the rights of deaf women and girls to prevent and respond to gender-based violence, the organizer stressed the need for all to provide enabling environments for these special persons to contribute their quota. Speakers at the meeting equally called on the government and private organizations to employ professional sign language interpreters in order to break the existing communication barrier in the society.
The essence of this is to make sure there's what we call disability inclusion.
One change that is untimely needed is gender equity in work roles, which ultimately increase in women's contributions to the economic well-being of any nation.
Inability to express themselves verbally was also identified as serious obstacle preventing full justice for them. Odiri Arutere, NTA News.
And for update on COVID-19, figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as at 8th February 2022, indicates 9 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT. The number of confirmed cases stands at 28,255, while active cases now 201. And the number of discharged cases stands at 27,803, and 247 deaths have been recorded in the Federal Capital Territory. And now to security. One of the key factors to attaining success in the FCT Area Council elections is to identify risk factors and assess workable solutions to them. Among such is the issue of security. Onotu Yakubu in this report takes a look at the situation and the role being advanced by stakeholders.
It is the final countdown to the all-important electioneering exercise that will usher in fresh administrations across the 6 area councils in the FCT. And the men in uniform have made it clear that they will leave nothing to chance in provision of the needed security for the success of the exercise. In this regard, politicians and their supporters, particularly the youths, have been called to caution across board to shun all forms of political violence before, during, and after the February FCT Area Council election. To further echo this resolve, candidates in the election were this Monday led to sign a peace agreement by the FCT Police Command.
The main purpose of calling them is the election should be crime-free, no torture, no snatching of boxes, no disruptions of collection centers. So that's the main reason why they have been called to sign this. We employ them to be law-abiding. Let them play the games according to the rules. So because they are 70% of the voters, so they have to conduct themselves within the confines of law. We advise them, we urge them to do that.
The traditional institution, as the custodian of the people's values, are also living up to expectations in this campaign for electioneering peace, with the Sape Igarki leading the charge.
To come out to campaign peacefully, ask their supporters to also come out in peace to vote.
The most important thing we need in this our children is peace. Let there be peaceful election.
It's their responsibility to ensure that this election is free and fair, and then the people's choice emerge, and also ensure that the security is beefed up to avoid any problem.
As a youth, I want a violent-free election. There is no gain in sharing blood.
As it is the right of every resident of the FCT to exercise their franchise come February 12th, the police says it has made it a key mandate to ensure that the exercise is violence-free. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Abdullahi Ajia is live in Kuje for PDP Grand Finale campaign. Abdullahi, what's the situation there?
Thank you, Mariam. We are rightly at the Kuje Township Station, and this is going to be the climax of the PDP campaign rally as allowed by the window of the electioneering campaign by law. Well, several hours, the People's Democratic Party candidates for the election and his team and supporters gone round the Kuje town, neighborhood to neighborhood, house to house, canvassing for votes come Saturday area council election. But now the event is climaxing right here at the stadium, where PDP supporters and the officials from the FCT are all gathered here and we talk to their supporters. And well, they're trying to get things set where we've not been able to talk to us at this moment. It seems to be big to get things done as far as this what they call mother of all rallies, because according to some of them from our interaction is that they've been able to turn political words, canvassing from both villages to villages, and now they are climaxing it here at the Kuje town. We will also be talking to their supporters, still violence, and go out there come Saturday to vote for their own candidate. it might also most of the stakeholders we got also spoken to them, the Goma of Kuje, and then former chairman and elder statesmen who are found here in Kuje have also spoken to some of these youth, shun violence and go vote for of their choice.
Thank you, Abdullahi, for that update. Moving on, the Deputy Commissioner of Operations, FCT Command, Benneth Igwe, says there will be restriction of movement across the Federal Capital Territory come Saturday, February 12th from 6 a.m. to 4 a.m. DC Igwe made the disclosure while responding to questions on election security on the magazine program called The Police. Wayne Dogo has details.
The Deputy Commissioner of Police, Bennett Igwe, has said that adequate security personnel have been deployed across the FCT as well as operational order for the forthcoming area council elections. DC is to guarantee the safety of electorates, INEC officials and all election materials.
I want to inform the residents of FCT that the police and other security agencies were ready for the election. We are fully mobilized our people for the election. We have posted our men and made sure that we will all be there before the time.
He further added that all known black spots in the city as well as border towns have been raided and also advised the general public to join the police in ensuring a violence-free election by reporting anything suspicious.
Take our number. Take a police line. The CP number is on every day in the news. Google it, you will see his number or my number. If you have any information, you can reach us personally. When you see something, say something. It's when you refuse to say something that is a problem.
DC Bennett Igwe advised voters to diligently cast their ballots on that day and return to their houses to prevent breach of peace. Wayne Dogo, NTA News.
Ifoma Ojinta is with me in the studio for countdown to 2022 FCT Area Council elections. Ifoma, is over to you.
Thank you very much, Mariam, and welcome to countdown to FCT Area Council elections. Now, as INEC continues to prepare, electioneering campaign is still on. It is worthy to note that the campaigns will end Thursday, 12 midnight. And moving on, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is soliciting the understanding of FCT residents on the suspension of continuous voter registration till after the elections. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu made this known while at a stakeholders meeting ahead of the elections. Aisha Ubali reports.
The graphic illustration shows that there are 6 area councils in the FCT with 62 registration areas, 2,822 polling units, with only 2,229 approved for the forthcoming area council elections by INEC due to zero voter registration and approximately 1.4 million registered voters. To enable the residents exercise their right, continuous voter registration lasted for 6 months according to INEC, which was suspended by December, while collection stopped by 4th of February 2022.
Some of them from congested locations to proximate but underserved areas. We gave voters the opportunity to transfer to some of the new polling units. Unfortunately, voters did not take advantage of this opportunity as we had expected in all cases. Consequently, there are 593 polling units in the FCT without registered voters.
Is also part of INEC's effort not to disenfranchise any group. The provisions were made to capture the physically challenged at the leprosy community in Kwali Area Council.
The printed ballot papers and magnifying glasses will be deployed in aid of albinos and vision impaired citizens.
This is my own card. I don't pass with this card. This card you see here, keep your own. We have no other Nigerian like this one.
INEC says permanent voter registration is still ongoing nationwide, while FCT will recommence the exercise after the elections. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
Meanwhile, with the adoption of technology for transparent and credible process, the INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu at an expanded stakeholders meeting announced that the bimodal voting authentication system BVAS machines have been configured for distribution. Again, Aisha Ubali reports.
It is hours to the FCT Area Council elections, and 473 candidates have been sponsored by 14 political parties to vie for different positions. The expanded stakeholders meeting, which had civil society organizations, security agencies, political parties, observers, and other stakeholders in attendance, is to highlight the level of progress made by the Commission in terms of preparedness.
And I assure you that in the FCT, we'll give you all the support.
We have also made adequate arrangements for technical support and transportation to speedily respond in the unlikely event of glitches on election day. Similarly, election results will be uploaded on the INEC result viewing portal in real time when voting ends and votes are counted at the polling units on election day.
On the part of the Nigeria Police, efforts have been made to ensure a hitch-free election.
With both domestic and foreign observer groups as well as media organizations accredited for the exercise, he assured residents of a free, fair and credible polls. It was made known at the meeting that 90% of insensitive materials are already at the area councils, while sensitive materials will be distributed by Thursday, the 10th of February, under strict and tight supervision. Meanwhile, stakeholders say with what the Commission intends to achieve with the area council elections, they are hopeful it will become desired and improved process come 2023.
Going by what is being said in the hall, if all we put into action, we're expecting free, fair, credible, and inclusive election by Saturday. Orientation has been given to them for a very long time, and we're still giving them the orientation. Voting is their right. And for them to be able to get vote for credible leadership, they need to go out to go and vote.
But then, if you look at the registration again, in AMAC, even at about 400 and something units, there are no people did not turn out to register. If you look at those register again, you see that AMAC is the highest.
On litigation, 8 cases are in court. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
And already seated with me in the studio is the State Chairman, Labour Party FCT, Peter Chukwemeka Digu, and he's here to talk to us about the party's preparedness ahead of the elections. It's good to have you on Countdown, sir.
Thank you.
All right, sir, the election is in 3 days. We also want to know, with 6 chairmanship seats in contest, 62 councillorship position, which position is the party vying for in the coming area council elections?
My great party, Labour Party, is vying for the 6 chairmanship candidates of the FCT, with over 2/3 majority of the councillorship candidates in green areas where we have strength.
Okay. Now, as I said earlier, it's a few days to the election. How prepared is the Labour Party to contest keenly, with other political parties?
By INEC legislation and procedures, we have obeyed the INEC rules by uploading all the names of our agents for the 6 area council elections in all the polling units and educating them on how to handle elections procedures on that very day with rancor, without rancor, bitterness, and acrimony.
Okay. Campaigns, will end by Thursday, as tomorrow, 12 midnight. What is your assessment of the campaigns so far carried out by political parties to the build-up of Saturday's poll?
In this aspect, I will narrow it to Labour Party, where I am mostly concerned, because I'm not going into dive seriously into the campaigns of other political parties. Labour Party has candidates who have gone throughout the 6 area councils and all the political units campaigning actively following the procedures of the INEC guidelines. And we have candidates who are credible, who have integrity, and who have accessibility to the people-oriented voters. And we're asking that these men who are of integrity are canvassing for serious votes day and night, mobilizing the legitimate electorates that will vote for this 12th February elections. And we are convinced by what I've done so far, we have 78% assurity of becoming first in these areas of the elections.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, the electoral umpire, INEC, has been having a series of meetings with stakeholders and particularly political parties. I just want to ask you, what's your take on the new innovations introduced by INEC, particularly the deployment of beavers for these elections?
Actually, INEC has been doing the needful. And Labour Party, as a party, has been thanking them for what they have been doing to make sure that we have a free and fair elections in this particular election. And I have to use this opportunity to thank my national chairman, who have been encouraging the FCT branch of this party in the person of Barrister, Comrade Julius Abure, that is the national chairman of the party, and his able National Central Working Committee members who have been encouraging us in this election by investing heavily to our candidates and the party structures in this to get this election done and be done very well.
Okay, you've been carrying out campaigns, particularly in the rural areas. How receptive, have the people been to you when you go out for campaigns?
Our candidates, both the chairmanship candidates and the councillorship candidates, are people-oriented. They live with masses. They know their plights. They are involved. Therefore, they are already been accepted because they are part of them. We are not capitalists. We are people's-oriented party. We are the only party that you will see that has the logo of Mama, Papa, Pikin. And our election is purely on individuals, not on materials and objectives that cannot even talk or speak. Therefore, we have already been accepted because we are part of the people. We are part of the sufferers, and we are part of the people that will be ruled. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, State Chairman, Labour Party, FCT, Peter Chukwuemeka Digwe. It's been a pleasure having you on Countdown, and we wish your party well come Saturday.
Thank you, and God bless.
And that's it on Countdown today. It's back to Mariam for the continuation of the news.
And now on sports. Nigeria Football Federation confirms date for Ghana versus Nigeria playoff for Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifier, as Mohamed Salah set for Liverpool return after Africa Cup of Nations heartbreak. Let's join Ahmed Abdurazak for more on Sports Brief.
The Nigeria Football Federation on Tuesday confirmed the date of the reversed Qatar FIFA World Cup 2022 playoff leg between Nigeria and Ghana to the Confederation of Africa Football. NFF said Nigeria and Ghana will face off in a pitch battle at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, March 27. Meanwhile, Liverpool's forward Mohamed Salah has returned to Liverpool's training ground on Tuesday and will be assessed by medical staff ahead of the game against mid-table Leicester on Thursday. But Sadio Mane will not be available after returning to Senegal to celebrate his team's victory. Elsewhere, Manchester United slipped out of the Premier League's top four after being held 1-1 by Burnley at Turf Moor on Tuesday. With Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench, United were made to pay for not making more of dominance first 45 minutes after Paul Pogba put them in front. Meanwhile, Burnley roared back after the break and gave their unusual hopes a boost. Jay Rodriguez leveled 2 minutes into second half. With Sports Brief, Ahmad Abdurazak, NTA News.
And before we go, do remember to take your COVID-19 vaccine and adhere strictly to safety protocols to keep safe. And with that, we end the news at 1. Join us at 7 for more news. Good afternoon.